Hello and a warm welcome to MLC TV News Hour. I am Fatima Yakub. The headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari returns to Abuja after a successful Dubai Expo 2020 in United Arab Emirates. OSINBAJO heads to Dubai for Global Forum on Liquefied Petroleum Gas. Pope condemns treatment of migrants in Europe. And ENYIMBA Football Club wins in Aba in Confederations Cup. The news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari on Sunday returned to Abuja after participating in the Dubai Expo 2020 held in United Arab Emirates. The president, while in Dubai, attended Nigeria Day and participated in Trade and Investment Forum at Dubai Expo 2020 on Friday and Saturday respectively. Speaking at the event, Buhari stressed the need for world leaders to work together and reinforce partnership to limit the catastrophic consequences of the global surge in cases of COVID-19. The Nigerian leader also assured captains of industry and entrepreneurs who had shown interest and commitment to further enhance trade and investment relations with Nigeria. He said that his administration would continue to work with them to improve the business climate, especially as the Africa Continental Free Trade Area comes into full effect, viable and attractive investment destination in Africa. Adding that the country is on the path of becoming the continent's leading industrial and trading nation. He introduced numerous fiscal incentives and infrastructure projects aimed at enhancing the viability of investments. He said, despite the adverse global economic environment of recent years, Nigeria's investment environment has greatly improved both at the national and subnational levels. Vice President OSINBAJO has departed Abuja early on Monday to participate in the World Liquefied Petroleum Gas Association Forum in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, where he will be delivering the keynote address. A statement issued by his spokesman, Laolu Akande, said OSINBAJO will be speaking on Tuesday at the forum, which is attracting over 2,000 delegates from 72 countries on the theme of the LPG Week, Energizing Tomorrow. According to the statement, world leaders, top government ministers from several countries, and chief executives of major multinational corporations in liquefied petroleum gas LPG sectors around the globe will be attending the week-long 2021 World LPG Week from Sunday through Thursday this week. Under the auspices of the Paris-based World LPG Association, the World LPG Week, which was first held in Amsterdam in 2019, is an annual event bringing together major LPG companies, senior public sector officials, industry experts, and other relevant. He further explained that this year's LPG Week, which will hold at the Dubai World Trade Center, creates the opportunity for global stakeholders to engage with the activities lined up, including the Global Exhibition, Technology Conference, the LPG Development Summit, among others. The Vice President is expected back in Abuja on Thursday. Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello has said that certain persons who were supposed to support President Muhammadu Buhari are pulling his administration down by their actions, utterances, inactions, and silence. Governor Bello stated this on Sunday when he received political, traditional, religious leaders and other stakeholders from Kebbi and Sokoto states at the Kogi State Government's Lodge in Abuja. The governor maintained that the president inherited a sinking ship, but he has to prevent it from sinking. Probably any other person wouldn't have been able to do better than what he is doing in the circumstance he found himself. They might be thinking that he is not the same Buhari of 1983. He is the same person, but the situation then is different now. This is the situation the president found himself in from 2015 to date, and let anybody challenge him with what he said, and he will prove it with veritable figures and facts. He recalled it was during the president's tenure as head of state and chairman of the Petroleum Trust Fund that 3 or 4 refineries were built in the country, which he said were operating in 100% capacity. The governor said he fought against a similar situation in Kogi, adding that that is why they are having the successes today. They will fix this country. The governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, has assured traditional, political, religious stakeholders from Kebbi and Sokoto State that he will yield to their calls for him to run for presidency in 2023. Bello stated this on Sunday when he received the delegations at the Kogi State's Government Lodge in Abuja. The governor also alleged a deliberate attempt by some persons who are supposed to support President Muhammadu Buhari but pulled his government down instead. Governor Bello noted that those who were supposed to support and advise the president are pulling him down by their actions, utterances, inactions, and by their silence. Bello, while noting that the clamor for youth to become president come 2023 was right, advised Nigerians to vote for a youth with capacity, zeal, integrity, determination, and impeccable records. Earlier in his remark, the leader of the delegation, Mlc said the visit was to pledge their support for the governor's presidential ambition. The House of Representatives panel on public account has summoned the Nigeria Customs Service (NCS), the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS), the Ministry of Industry, and the Oil and Gas Free Zone Authority to clarify allegations of non-remittance of taxes to the Federation account by major players in the maritime sector. The resolution was reached during an interactive session with major players in the sector at the National Assembly by members of the committee who sought to know if the Tenaris Global Services Limited remitted taxes to the relevant government agencies. The company appeared before the House committee following a petition by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation against its perceived sharp practices. The chairman of the committee, Oluwole Oke, PDP Osun, while grilling the representative of the company, lamented that most of the oil companies in the zone were deliberately shortchanging the federal government with the connivance of government agencies. Oke said that the relevant government agencies would be invited to give more insight into the tax compliance status of the company at the next public hearing. He declared that the committee was not out to witch hunt the companies, but rather acting on the petition received from the appropriate quarters for the government, which must be thoroughly investigated by the Parliament. Labour and Employment Minister Chris Ngige has said he will review the implementation of the Memorandum of Action (MOA) signed by the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASU). The decision of the minister is to avert another round of disruption in academic activities in public varsities. Ngige said that they will find out from the Accountant General's Office and the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning. Ngige's decision came as the leadership of the ASU was locked in a meeting last night over alleged failure of the federal government to meet its demand. ASU President Emmanuel Osodeke said the leadership of the union was in a marathon meeting to review the implementation of the various interventions reached with the federal government. Osodeke said only funds for the revitalization of public universities have been partially addressed by the government, following the 21-day ultimatum issued by the union. The 3-week ultimatum issued on November 15, 2021 ends today. The ASU leader confirmed that part of the needs assessment funds have been released to the universities. Speaking earlier on television program Politics Today, he said the grievances of the university lecturers would be addressed in the next 2 weeks. The natives of Ogori-Magongo local government area of Kogi State was thrown into confusion and suspense as one Victoria Jimo, who was sent on an errand by her mother, was declared missing on Saturday afternoon. It was gathered that the mother sent her daughter Victoria on errand with a sum of 50,000 naira to a neighboring Okene town to get some provisions for her store. 2 hours after she left home, the mother received a message from her daughter's phone stating that her daughter was kidnapped and they needed her cooperation. The girl's mother raised alarm and immediately the council chairman's security squad swung into action and camped the flash areas between Ogori and Okene in search of the missing girl. While the search was ongoing, the mother received a call telling her that she will be released later that same day and they will collect the sum of 50,000 naira they saw in her possession as ransom. To everyone's relief, she was released yesterday night at about 8 p.m. She was immediately taken to the office of the DSS for questioning. The DSS, upon interrogation, noticed the stories were not adding up and handed her over to the Ogori-Magongo Divisional Police Headquarters for further investigation, where she later confessed to have faked the kidnap because she needed to help her friend pay her school fees and that the money is still with her friend in Magongo. Investigation is still ongoing. All Progressives Congress APC leader Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has received former Kano State Governor Ibrahim Shekarau, who recently was backed by Governor Kayode Fayemi and Abubakar Badaro of Ekiti and Jigawa respectively, Governor Kayode Fayemi and Abubakar Badaru yesterday addressed the state chairman of the Shekarau's faction, Ahmadu Haruna Danzago, as the chairman of the Kano State chapter of the APC. It was unclear what Tinubu and Shekarau discussed in the closed-door meeting, but the absence of Ganduje raised a lot of questions. The Kano APC crisis worsened after the State Congress on October 18 produced two sets of leaders, with one loyal to Ganduje and the other to Shekarau. The Shekarau faction had elected Haruna Danzago as chairman, while Ganduje's camp elected Abdullahi Abbas. The Federal High Court in Abuja granted the request and upheld the congresses conducted by the Shekarau faction. The judge also made an order restraining the Ganduje faction from appointing a new executive. The National Union of Electricity Employee Kogi State Council has joined its other counterparts within the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company franchise, Niger, Nasarawa, Kogi and FCT councils on an industrial strike with effect from 12 a.m. today. The issues at stake, according to a statement issued by the state chairman of NUEE, Shegun Meduping, include non-payment of entitlements such as thrift deductions 8 months, pension remittances 20 months, remaining batches of year 2020 productivity bonus, third batch of bulk rent to all the workers of Abuja Electricity Distribution Company and electricity workers in Nigeria. Other issues at stake is 1. Non-release of intervention funds by CBN to AEDC as it has been released to other discos. CBN escrow AEDC accounts. The statement stated that, as it has earlier informed all, the position has not changed. 12 o'clock on Monday, 6th December 2021 is the time for the withdrawal of all services in AEDC until their demands are met. You're still watching MLC TV News. More stories to come after the break.
Mlc TV Online is here. For your timely and reliable news that reaches you fast with the breaking news, choose MLC TV. Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. An ex-commissioner for education in Kogi State, Oluwayomi David Ate, has revealed that the Department of State Service DSS invited him over his recent comment on the visit of Islamic scholar Sheikh Ahmad Gumi to Okunland. According to reports made available to journalists, the secret police asked him to show up at its office in Lokoja, the state capital, on Tuesday. Ate said his decision to inform the public about the invitation was to keep people abreast of happenings. But stressing his point, the ex-commissioner recalled the experience of Obadiah Melafia, a former deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, who died not long after his encounter with the DSS. Ate wondered why the DSS did not invite Gumi, who had been holding meetings with armed bandits and foreign Fulanis in various states across the country. A 44-year-old father of 3, Gabriel Anthony Patrick, has been arrested by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, for ingesting 96 pellets of cocaine, which he excreted in the custody of the agency. A native of Nike in Enugu North local government area of Enugu State, Gabriel was arrested on Friday, 26th of November, during an outward clearance of Turkish airline at the boarding screening area of the airport en route Abuja, Istanbul, Madrid. He had traveled to Germany in 1996 for 2 years on asylum, after which he relocated to Spain in 1999, where he currently holds a residence permit and works as a driver in a food manufacturing company. A statement by Femi Babafemi, Director, Media and Advocacy, said Patrick claimed he came into Nigeria on 17th of November to sell clothes and car spare parts he shipped to Lagos earlier. He, however, said he couldn't sell his garments, which cost him 4,000 euros, excluding the cost of shipment, because they were priced below the cost price at Ladipo Market in Lagos, and he needed to travel back to Spain to resume work after the expiration of his annual leave. This, he said, led him to accept an offer to traffic the drug, for which he will be paid 1,500 euros when he successfully delivers the consignment to someone in Spain. And on our foreign news, Eastern Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi has been sentenced to 4 years in prison, and the first in a series of verdicts that could jail her for life. She was found guilty on charges of inciting dissent and breaking COVID rules. Under a natural disasters law, she has 11 charges laid against her. Ms. Suu Kyi has denied all the charges. The 76-year-old was leading an elected civilian government before being ousted by a military coup in February. The military seized power alleging voter fraud in general election held last year, in which the NLD won by a landslide. Ms. Suu Kyi has since been placed under house arrest and slapped with an array of charges, including multiple counts of corruption, violating the Official Secrets Act, and inciting public unrest. The Pope has denounced narrow self-interest and nationalism over the way European countries treat migrants. Speaking on the Greek island of Lesbos, Pope Francis called the neglect of migrants the shipwreck of civilization. Last month, 27 people died when their inflatable dinghy sank in the channel between France and the UK. The number of people attempting the crossing has been growing, with more than 26,000 people arriving in the UK so far this year, more than double last year's total. Several people have also died in freezing temperatures attempting to cross into Poland from Belarus, which denies accusations it has been orchestrating the crisis at its border to destabilize the EU. The pontiff was speaking at a temporary camp housing about 2,000 asylum seekers, which replaced the overcrowded Moria camp that was destroyed in fires last year. He said, while the coronavirus pandemic has shown the major challenges had to be confronted together, and there were some signs of this happening on climate change, there was little sign of such an approach to migration. Pope Francis said the remote cause should be attacked, not the poor people who pay the consequences and are even used for political propaganda. The United Kingdom and the Canadian government citing the news on Nigeria following her link with the Omicron variant of COVID-19. Recall that the UK government had included Nigeria on its red list of countries placed on travel ban. As though that was not enough, British High Commission said yesterday it would pause making decisions on visitor visa application from all red list countries, including Nigeria. The decision, announced in a statement issued by the Commission yesterday, came hours after the UK added Nigeria to its travel red list. This is even as the Canadian government said also yesterday that it will no longer accept results of COVID-19 tests from Nigeria, Egypt, South Africa, and 7 other countries on the continent. The UK government also yesterday came up with fresh conditions for Nigerians and its citizens traveling to the UK from Nigeria. UK residents traveling from Nigeria to pay £2,285 for 10-day quarantine. There is an additional rate for adult or child over 11, that is £1,430, while an additional rate for a child aged 5 to 11 is £325. Meanwhile, a petition by Daila Elbe, a UK citizen, to the British Parliament seeking to allow fully vaccinated people coming from red list countries to isolate at home and exceeded 78,000 signatures at the time of this report. The petition, which the UK government had responded to on July 6th, had a deadline of December 10th and will be considered for debate in the UK Parliament if it reaches 100,000 signatures. Over to Jonah Malik for the updates on sport.
Welcome to Sports Updates. In the Confederations Cup match played on Sunday, ENYIMBA Football Club defeated their counterpart Al Ittihad by 2-0, while Rivers United lost to Al Masry by a lone goal. Similarly, in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup, the Falconet Nigeria female team defeated Congo by 4-0, while the return leg took place in the fortnight at Mobolaji Johnson Arena in Lagos. In the English Premier League matches played on Sunday, Ralph Rangnick, first match in charge of Manchester United, defeated Crystal Palace by a lone goal. Leeds United played 2-2 draw with Brentford. Tottenham Hotspur defeated Norwich City by 3-0, while Aston Villa defeated Leicester City by 2-1. The governing body of tennis says it has not followed the Women's Tennis Association (WTA) in suspending tournaments in China because it does not want to punish 1 billion people. The WTA has halted tournaments in the region because of the continued concern for the Chinese player Peng Shuai, who has accused a top government official of sexual assault. As the governing body of tennis, we stand in support of all women's rights, said David Haggerty, president of the International Tennis Federation. Peng, 35, was not seen for 3 weeks after going public with her allegations. The allegation needs to be looked into, and we will continue to work behind the scenes and directly to bring this to resolution, Haggerty told BBC Sports. And that sports update on MLC TV, I am Malik Jonah.
Thanks, Jonah, for the updates. And now we'll go over to Matthias Ayodeji Peter for entertainment news.
On entertainment news today, after a one-year hiatus, the African Magic Viewers' Choice Award (AMVCA) is ready to roll out its red carpets. Ahead of the award ceremony's 8th edition, organizers of the event have announced a call for submissions. Filmmakers are expected to submit their films in line with the awards guidelines between December 12, 2021 and January 14, 2022. According to the organizers, films made for television movies or television series are eligible for entry to the AMVCA if they were broadcast, publicly screened or exhibited from December 1st, 2019 to 30th November 2021. Speaking on the forthcoming 8th edition, Chief Executive Officer, MultiChoice Nigeria, John Ugbe said, last year was indeed a tough one on the world with the global pandemic. However, the industry continues to strive against all odds. They are proud of the improvements seen across different fields in the industry since the inception of the awards in 2013. The 8th edition of the AMVCAs once again demonstrates their commitment to spotlight the immense talent they have in African films and TV industries and promise to leave a much bigger impact than previous editions. The 8th edition slated for 2020 will also see the addition of a new category to recognize the growing acceptance of content creators across Africa. The category is tagged Best Online Social Content Creator. The 7th AMVCA saw Play Networks Living in Body sequels scope the highest number of awards with a total of 8 wins, including Best Overall Movie. The show organizers also introduced the Best Dressed Male and Best Dressed Female categories. Still on entertainment news, Izu Ojuku's newly released film Amina has broken a new Netflix record. The film, which premiered exclusively on the streaming platform, recently becomes the first Nigerian movie to make the global top 10 list. Confirming the feat, director Izu Ojuku shared a video of Netflix Director of Content for Africa, Ben Amadasun, making the announcement at a press briefing. Netflix confirmed that Amina has become the first Nigerian film to hit the top 10 list globally on its platform, Ojuku wrote on Instagram. The stunning record-setting accomplishment was made possible by both cast and crew, whom one can never thank enough. Starring Lucy Ame in the lead role as Amina, the film explores the rise to power of the 16th century warrior and queen. The film, which is co-produced by Living in Bondage producer Oke Ogunjefo, also stars Claron Chukura and Ali Nuhu. And that is all in entertainment news today. My name is Matthias Ayodeji Peter, reporting for MLC TV. Back to our cast staff for more stories.
Thank you, Matthias. The Chief Press Secretary to the Speaker, Kogi State House of Assembly, Matthew Kolawole, has announced the death of the wife of his boss. Matthew Kolawole, the Speaker of the Kogi State House of Assembly, the wife, Esther Zainab Kolawole, whose death occurred on Sunday, 5th December, in Lagos Hospital of a brief illness, at age 50, survived by her husband, children, siblings, and aged mother. The burial arrangement is yet to be announced. Kogi State Governor Yahya Bello has expressed shock and sadness over passing away of Pastor Esther Kolawole, wife of the Speaker of the Kogi State House of Assembly, Matthew Kolawole. Pastor Kolawole, aged 50, died at a Lagos hospital on Sunday following an illness. Governor Bello, in a condolence message by his Chief Press Secretary, Onogu Mohammed, said he was devastated by the news of the passing of the Speaker's wife, saying it is a trying and tough moment for the state. Bello described Kolawole as a virtuous and God-fearing woman who stood firmly behind her husband at all times in the course of their marital journey until she was called home. The governor said Kolawole has left a great vacuum and will be surely missed by people for all her roles she played during her lifetime. He said the state government will stand shoulder to shoulder with Matthew Kolawole and his family at these trying moments. The governor condoled with the entire family of Prince Matthew Kolawole, the State Assembly, and the people of Kababunu constituency, and prayed God to grant the Speaker and his family, the House of Assembly, the people of Kababunu, and the entire state fortitude to bear the loss, as well as grant the soul of the reposed eternal rest. She was survived by her husband, children, siblings, and aged mother. On a similar development, the governor Yahya Bello has expressed sadness over the death of a former chief of army staff during the Second Republic, General Mohammed Wushishi. A family source who confirmed the news of his death said that Wushishi died in a London hospital on Saturday at 81-year-old. Bello, in a condolence message by his chief press secretary Onogu Mohammed, described the death of the general as a monumental loss for the country and the Nigerian Armed Forces. He commiserated with the family members of the late Wushishi, the Nigerian Army, as well as the government and good people of Niger State over the sad incident, praying God to grant his soul eternal rest and fortitude for his family and well-wishers to bear the loss. The governor equally sympathized with his Niger State counterpart, Governor Abubakar Sani Bello, over the death of the general. Still on the death of Esther Kolawole's condolence messages had been pouring in for the late wife of the Speaker of House of Assembly, Kogi State. The PDP in Kogi State said it received the news of the death of the wife of the Speaker, State House of Assembly, with root shock and prayed that God Almighty will keep all she left behind. Kogi State First Lady Rashida Bello has commiserated with the family of Prince Matthew Kolawole, the Speaker of Kogi State House of Assembly, over the demise of his dear wife, Esther Kolawole. Rashida Bello, who described late Esther Kolawole as a woman of immense character, who lived an exemplary life, further expressed confidence that her astute devotion to God and humanity would no doubt earn her a peaceful repose with God, our Creator. Kogi State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fanwo, has also condoled the Speaker of the State House of Assembly over the death of his wife. Fanwo, in a statement, said the news of her demise was shocking and devastating, saying the woman fought like a gallant woman that she was. The chairman, Kogi State House of Assembly Service Commission, Malik Anders, has condoled with the Speaker, Prince Matthew Kolawole, over the death of his wife, Esther Zainab Kolawole. In a statement signed by the chairman of the commission, said that the death of the Speaker's wife was received with rude shock and heavy heart. He described the death as saddened and painful, given the motherly role and love extended to everyone who came her way. The State Security Advisor to the Kogi State Government, Commander Jerry Omodara, has expressed shock on the news of the death of the wife of the Speaker, Kogi State House of Assembly, Matthew Kolawole. His condolences reads in part, "Receiving news of your wife's death was devastating and he cannot begin to imagine the pain and sorrow. May God of all comfort you and hold you and your family. And from the entire staff and management of Mlc TV, we sympathize with the Speaker, House of Assembly, over the death of his wife. We pray to God to comfort him and the children, including her aged mother she left behind. May the soul of Esther Zainab Kolawole rest in peace." Former Minister and Ambassador to France, Bonu Sharif, is dead. Engineer Bonu Sharif Musa, who was a minister under the regime of General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, is dead. Bonu served as a minister in various ministries, including Mines, Power and Steel Development. He was also Nigeria's former ambassador to France. The former minister died at the age of 74. Secretary of Bonu Elders Forum, Bulama Malegubio, confirmed the sad news and described it as devastating. He said they are deeply pained by his departure, described him a good man. Gubio confirmed they were with him 2 days ago at the palace of Shehu of Borno, and there was no linking that his final days were near. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. His death came shortly after that of another elder statesman, Alhaji Tijani Bolori. It's a great loss to Borno and Nigeria. May Allah accept their souls and reward them with Al-Jannah for the wonderful things they did. And that is today's news package. Do join us tomorrow via the same platform. For your event coverage for news, sponsorship and advert placement, call the numbers displayed on your screen or visit any of our social media handles to drop your comment for us. Like our Facebook page, MLC TV, Instagram, MLC TV 2021. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mlc TV. I am Fatima Yakub. Thanks for staying with us.